Welcome to the Unit 3 Lesson 9 video. We've got 4 warm-up questions here where you just need to select the compound inequality that matches the word statement in each problem. So make sure you're thinking about if it's an or equal to part or not. All right, so pause the video, work those out, unpause, and see how you did. So number 1, the low temperature for the day was -5 and the high temperature was 15. Show the inequality, or show the compound inequality using the variable t for temperature. It was -5, it was 15, so A is my answer because those are both or equal to. Number 2, children in Kitty's fun playland must be at least 2 and less than 8 years old. Show the ages A using a compound inequality. They can be 2, they cannot be 8. C is the answer. Number 3, the scores on the midterm exam went from a low of 53, so it was 53, to a high of 99, so it was 99. So B is our answer there. And number 4, at the family reunion, the youngest grandchild was 5 years old. They were, so it can be 5. And the oldest grandparent was 87. It can be 87. So we've got B again. So today we're going to be graphing more than one set of values on a number line. So we're going to start by showing a range of temperatures on a number line. I'm going to scroll to get so we have all of the words pretty much. All right, so today was cloudy and cold. The low for the day was -8 degrees, and the high was 4 degrees Fahrenheit. That's something we've been able to do already. All right, so we define our variable. We should say z equals the temp. They picked z, pick whatever letter you want to. And they said, okay, it was -8. That was the smallest, so we have a less than or equal to. -8 is less than or equal to our variable. And it was 4, so it's less than or equal to 4 because it actually did end up being 4. So previously, all we would have done is close circle at -8, close circle at -4, at +4. And then since the variable is between, we connect the dots. That's a compound inequality. Now we're going to go a step further. They're just catching up to what we've done before. Remember, the line is just every value of the variable that makes the statement true. So now, again, I'm just going to scroll to get past all the blurred out words. Carmen's softball team has 15 players. 7 of the players are taller than 66 inches, and 8 of the players are between 60 and 63. One of the players is 60 inches tall, and another is 63 inches tall. Show the possible heights of the players on Carmen's team. I probably would use the letter H for height. They used K. That's fine, but you got to actually say what you were measuring. So K is the height. So 8 of the players are between 60 and 63. So that would have told me 60 is less than K is less than 63. But one player is 60, so or equal to there. Another is 63, so that's or equal to there. That only takes care of these 8 players. I still have 7 players who are taller than 66 inches. So those people would be K is greater than 66. I need the word or. The reason I need the word or is because if I say I'm going to pick a random person on the team, they either are in this group or they are in that group. They cannot be in both groups at the same time. You cannot tell me that there's someone who is over 66 inches tall that is also less than or equal to 63 inches tall. There is not a number that works for. So to graph this, it's just the same as what we have been doing. You just do 2 different things on the same number line. So I'm going to put a closed circle at 60, a closed circle at 63, and connect those dots. That's this piece. I also have to do the red piece, which is an open circle at 66, and they go to the right. Those arrows, those lines, mean they go on forever. Okay, any dot that I could find on one of these lines that I drew would be a solution. So there's no upper bound is the fancy term, so maybe there's a player on Carmen's softball team who's like 37 feet tall. I don't know, but that's a possibility. Sincerely doubt it, though. So you've got 2 activities here. Activity 1, you're just graphing the things. In activity 2, you're telling whether or not the statement is true or false. So I'm going to do number 1 in activity 2 with you. So you're given 5 is less than x is less than 11, or x is greater than 25. It says 10 is in the set of values. True or false? You just have to identify, if I put in 10 for x, is one of those statements going to be true? Well, is 5 less than 10 and also less than 11? Yes, so this is true. I don't care that 10 is not greater than 25. I need one of these two statements to be true. You will never have both of them true. You will circle false if neither of them are true. So in this case, if I had said 15 is in both sets of values. Well, 15 is not less than 11, so it doesn't work there. 15 is not greater than 25, so it doesn't work there. So that's when you would circle false. All right, so pause the video, work those out, and then see how you did. Activity 1, I'm going to have an open circle at 5 and 10. Connect those. Open circle at 12 with an arrow going to the right. Number 2, closed circle at -1. Open circle at 3. Connect those dots. Closed circle at 5, going to the right. And number 3, closed circle at 20. Closed circle at 40. Connect the dots. Open at 60. Arrow going to the right. Now you're not always going to have arrows going to the right. They just happen to work out that way this time. Number 1 we already did, so number 2 is 4 in the set of values. No, it's not, because this is less than 4. 4 is not less than 4. If that would have been a -4 less than y less than or equal to 4, then this would be a true statement. But since 4 is not smaller than 4, we got nothing. It's false. Number 3, it's going to have the same issue. This one's also going to be false because of that sign. 12 is not less than 12. If I replace W with 12, I do not get a true statement. Number 4 is true because this time it is a less than or equal to symbol. And number 5, 35 is in the set of values, is going to be true because 35 is greater than or equal to 30. So now we're going to do a couple word problems in this section. All we're going to be really doing is graphing. All right, so it says solve the following problems by showing the sets of numbers described on the number line. Read each problem carefully to make sure that the range is correctly represented. They tell you what the variable equals, so you need to come up with the inequality and then graph it. I'm going to do number 1, then I'm going to have you pause the video and do 2 through 4. So number 1 says, when it gets hot in Las Vegas, children are encouraged to play outside in the morning and in the evening when the temperatures are cooler. Usually children play outside in the morning when the temperature is 81 degrees Fahrenheit or hotter until it's 84 degrees. They also play outside in the evening when it's 86 degrees to 90 degrees. So I have 2 different times of day. I'm talking about T for temperature, when they're going to be outside. So in the morning, it starts off at 81, and then it gets hotter. So I'm going to have 81 less than or equal to T. It can be 81. And they stay outside until it's 84 degrees. So at 84 degrees, they go inside. So this is less than 84, not less than or equal to, because they no longer play outside. And then in the afternoon or in the evening, they start when it's 86 degrees. So they're outside at 86 degrees. And so it says they also play outside in the evening when it's 86 degrees to 90 degrees. So this is telling me they play outside when it's 90 degrees as well. So I would have closed circle here. I'm going to do that one in red to represent the red stuff. Open circle, connect the dots. Closed circle here, closed circle there, connect the dots. If you put a just less than, not less than or equal to on that one, I would probably be okay with it because it's not very clear how this question is worded. I really hope this didn't just mess up my recording. So we'll kind of see what happens. It looks like it's still recording. I'll keep my fingers crossed. And then we'll see how far I actually have to scroll down. Oh, perfect. So if you put a less than instead of a less than or equal to, I'd probably be okay. As long as this circle matches what you wrote there, you should be fine. So go ahead, do 2 through 4, and then see how you did. So number 2, Little Theater is looking for young actors to play for the next play. They want children who are older than 5 and younger than 8. They cannot be 5, they cannot be 8. They also want teenagers who are 13 years old or older, but younger than 18. So they can be 13, but they cannot be 18. So open at 5, open at 8, connect those dots. closed at 13, open at 18. Connect those dots. Number 3, a scientist is carefully following instructions for mixing chemicals in her lab. She can mix the chemicals when the temperature of the first chemical is at least 104 degrees and no hotter than 110 degrees. So it can be 104, it can be 110. So 104 less than or equal to V, less than or equal to 110. And then she can also mix the chemicals when the temperature is at least 114, can be 114, but no hotter than 118, can be 118. So I'm going to have 104, close circle, to 110, close circle, and 114, close circle, to 118, close circle. Number 4, there's a lot of construction on the freeway in Austin. The radio tells drivers where the slowdowns are using mile markers. That means the slowdown starts at a certain mile marker shown on a sign on the side of the freeway. Today the slowdown starts at mile marker 44 and ends at mile marker 49. So it can be 44 and then it ends at 49. It doesn't actually have that 49th mile. So this is another one where it's kind of confusing and I'm not going to be too picky about it. So starts at 44. It has mile 44. So less than or equal to S, and then ends at mile marker 49. That's the beginning of that 49th mile, so it does not include mile 49. Another slowdown begins at mile marker 51, or 55, excuse me, and ends at mile marker 61 for the same reasons as above. I have a less than, or equal to, and then a less than. 44 to 49, closed and opened. 55 is closed. 61 is open. Again, if you had the or equal to parts there, I probably wouldn't care too much. All right. So make sure you're working on your day 9 homework. I hope everybody has a great day.